Everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So here today we are going to look at the phylum Platyhelminthes. So this phylum is known for having a lot of parasites. So these parasites are mostly able to cause diseases. The examples that are here are the flatworms. We have the blood flukes. So these are some of the examples that belong to the phylum Platyhelminthes. So now, the common disease that they are able to cause is Bilharzia. So the other name for Bilharzia is Schistosomiasis. So the causing agent for Bilharzia is what we call Schistosomia. So this is it for Bilharzia. Now we are going to be looking at the life cycle. So the two hosts that Schistosomiasis has is the humans and the snails. So we are going to be looking at the stages, or rather how the process goes. So the first thing is that the Cercaria will be released by the snail. So Cercaria will be released by the snail. Then after that, we are going to find that Cercaria will penetrate the skin. After it penetrates the skin, it loses its tail. Then it will be called Schistosomulae. Now let's look at the image to understand further. So don't pay attention to the numbering, but we are starting. So the snail, number one. So the snail, it releases Cercaria. That's number one. That will be your number one. So the snail releases Cercaria into the water. Then the Cercaria will be able to penetrate the skin. So when it penetrates the skin, it loses its tail. So the other diagram that can help you visualize this is this diagram. So as we look at this other diagram, we have our Cercaria here. So as it penetrates, as you can see, as it penetrates, it loses its tail like that. Now when it loses its tail, it will now be called Schistosomulae. So that is the other name. Now if it is just one, we call it Schistosomula. But if there are a lot, we add an E. So that is how it is. So now after it penetrates the skin, so remember number one, Cercaria released by the snail into the water is number one. Number two is penetration into the skin. Then our number three will be it losing the tail. That will be Cercaria loses the tail during penetration and become Schistosomulae. Now after that, it will be able to migrate to the liver and mature as adult male and female. So it will be able to migrate through the blood circulation. So that will be our number 4. So it will be able to migrate to the liver and mature into adults. So as you can see, the male and the female like that. Then as they mature, so this whole thing is our number 4. Then our number 5 will be that a pair of worms move to the rectum and bladder. So these will be able to move to the rectum and they will be able to move to the bladder. So rectum and the bladder. So after they move to those areas, they are able to lay their eggs. So they lay their eggs. So you should be writing what I'm saying. So they lay their eggs as they move as a paired. So paired adult worms migrate to the mesenteric venues of the bowel and the rectum, laying the eggs to the liver and are shed in the stool. So these will be released in the stool and the urine. So number 5, pair of them move to the rectum and the bladder and they lay eggs. Then number 5 will be number 6 will be that they will be discharged in urine and feces. So they will be removed. That will be our number 6. So they are removed in urine and in feces. Then the next stage is that those eggs that were laid, they will be able to hatch. So they will be able to hatch. When they hatch, they are going to release what we call miracidia. So miracidia will be the next thing. So they hatch, releasing miracidia. That's your number 7. Then so that's your number 7. They're releasing miracidia like that. Then they will be able to penetrate the snail again. So when they penetrate the snail, that will be another step. So they will be able to penetrate the snail. Then after that, they will be able to change. They will be able to become sporocytes or sporocytes. They will be able to become sporocytes. And finally, they will become Cercaria again, which will be your number 10. So it is these steps are very important, but if you are writing an essay, there will be no need for you to write these steps. You just explain how is the process. So number 1, the snail. So get it clear. So we have the snail are released into the blood. It's not important to say that number 1 is this. You just have to know how the process goes. So the snail is released into the blood. When it is released into the blood, into the water, it penetrates the skin. When it penetrates the skin, it loses its tail. So it is now called Schistosomula. Then this Schistosomula will be able to move to the liver and mature into adults, which is the male and the female. The male and the female will now be able to migrate to the mesenteric bowels, which is our rectum. They will be able to migrate to the rectum and the bladder. So when they migrate to the rectum and the bladder, they are going to lay eggs. So they are together so that they can lay eggs. When they lay eggs, those eggs are released in urine and in feces. So when they are released in urine and feces, they will be able to hatch. So when they hatch, they are now going to release miracidia. This miracidia will now be able to move, or rather, this is our miracidia. It will be able to penetrate the snail. When it penetrates the snail, it will now be able to turn into sporocytes. So the sporocytes, which later become what we call Cercaria, and the process continues like that. So you can look at a lot of diagrams like this one. Miracidia penetrates the snail tissue to become sporocytes, develop in the snail to become Cercaria, which are released into the water from the snail. Then the Cercaria penetrates the skin. So when the Cercaria penetrates the skin, they lose their tails. Then they will become Schistosomulae. So when they now move via the blood to the liver. So when they move to the liver, they will be able to mature into male and female. So when they mature into male and female, they will be able to move to the bladder and the rectum, where they lay their eggs. After they lay their eggs, the eggs and the eggs are released from the rectum and the bladder through urine and feces. When they enter the blood, those eggs hatch and they become what we refer to as miracidia, and the process continues. So you can just use such diagrams to help you. So they are found when you're found in damp water like this. This is how they are spread, like that. So there are a lot of ways. So depending on which one your professor wants you to start with, others might start with the release of eggs with the feces. Then the eggs hatch into miracidia. The miracidia will penetrate the snail. From then the snail will release the Cercaria. From there they penetrate the human. Then we have Schistosomiasis or Schistosomule, which is the one that has penetrated the skin and has lost its tail. Like that, it goes to the liver. It becomes into the male and the female, which migrate to the bowels of the rectum and the bladder, like that. Then as someone defecates, they are able to release that. But if you are at, let's say, CBU, here you are going to begin with the Cercaria. So Cercaria will be released by the snail into the water. Then it will be able to penetrate a human being. When it penetrates the human being, the cycle moves like that. So if you're at CBU, you begin with Cercaria is released in the water. So that is that under this phylum, which we are calling Platyhelminthes. So that is that. See you in the next tutorial.